CD squared has 51 minus degrees of freedom, making I got hungry and I ate it. We're Americans and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating and I'm reading a book and this wave just comes up.
This moth isn't just swinging around, it's been bugged. Using electrodes implanted into its muscles.
Some are hard to predict. Signals with robot ultrasound distance sensor.
Here, signals are sent to its left flight muscle to make it lift that wing.
The outcome of these cells can be used to control
different signals can be sent for it to lower its wing, to lift both wings at once, or to make them flat.
They each have a motor in them, and it actually drives forward when I walk. It actually powers that knee through the step.
Powered through Bluetooth technology.
Increasing the frequency of the pulse makes the wings beat faster. If a signal is sent only to one side while the moth is flying, it will veer in that direction. Implanted electrodes into the brains of tree beetles,
and they
close to
talk to
neurons
each other and try to
control flight.
mimic the stride length.
A computer
that
program in
the
the
other one's doing. If I
device
speed
controls
up,
the
the other one
beetle,
can realize
and
it's
here
doing
it
it, and
beats
it'll
its
speed up
wings
as well.
and takes off when a negative voltage is sent to its brain. Researchers are putting moths in control and using them as a pair of eyes. They've found out how to intercept signals from their visual system and how to use them to make a robot move. Here, a graduate student demonstrates how the robot can be steered. Combining living and machine components could eventually make robotic systems more effective.
Legs when an IED hit his convoy in Fallujah, Iraq in 2006.
The IED went off directly underneath me and took off basically everything that was hanging over the ledge of the seat, my legs. And then it killed my sergeant in front of me and my good friend next to me. My gunner lost his right leg. I shattered my hip. I had 32 pins in my hip. I broke my pelvis, so I have a 6-inch screw holding that together. I lost both legs above the knee. I broke 4 fingers, broke my jaw, broke my nose, lacerated kidney. So I recovered well, I think, and great care here and done well.
Today, I use the Bluetooth prosthetics.
Did you seriously think you could somehow change the world from here?
Yeah, sort of at first.
And? How do you feel about it now?
I'm not blazing with satisfaction or anything. But the truth is, it all ended for me the instant I shared my memories with you. At that point, my work was done. I figured that you'd probably be able to run with it from there.
Of all the... You're a hell of a liar, kid. I clearly recall you didn't want me involved.
I'm sorry, but the minute you share and synchronize all your information, you lose your uniqueness and become absorbed into the unconscious maliciousness of a third party that has no motive, or perhaps into the will of someone who does have one.
Are those your words based on what you've gained from hard-earned experience?
Yes, and the fact is, you yourself play the role of the laughing man copycat as well.
Well, I have to admit, it was a fascinating phenomenon. At any rate, what was your underlying reason for triggering such a huge event in the first place?
To you, everything that's happening in the world appears phony to be something other than what it is, right?
Is that TV sound, Jim?
Yes. When it comes to cyberization, I'm pretty much the shining example of a poster boy. So you think at the very least I would have felt terrified at the thought of contracting cyberbrain sclerosis. I'll tell you, it was a simple piece of mail I stumbled across in the net that began this whole thing. What I found was a blackmail document that had probably been sent to Genomics. It was armed with a thesis that was a comparative study of the inadequacy of cerebral micromachines versus the effectiveness of the vaccine.
In the the original lagging man was the person who offered it.
You could put it like that, I suppose. I am the machine that reveals the world to you as only I alone am able to see it.
See Roberto? He was a Russian filmmaker, wasn't he?
Yes. I was kidding myself by thinking it was my personal mission to prove and circulate that information, vital data I alone could happen upon.
Failing spectacularly, the pure innocent mediator grew dejected at the base nature of the social system and he turned mute.
Yes, it was because of that I became a vanishing mediator. Just like an author whose existence is emphasized with the fact that he rarely puts out any new works of publication. In other words, by disappearing, it acts as a catalyst of the social system. For sociological theory, it ultimately vanishes, leaving no trace of its presence inside or outside the system.
Frederick Jameson, I believe.
Yes, and no. Masachi Osawa too. Even though I was familiar with the words, I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own eyes. Who knew that copies could still be produced despite the absence of an original? If you had to give a name to this phenomenon, what would you label it?
It would be standalone complex.
Yes, it's the standalone complex. From the start, the very nature of our current social system has contained mechanisms to trigger such an amazing occurrence. Personally, however, I feel this marks the beginning of a new era of despair. What's your opinion?
I don't know. It's impossible for me to say. Although I have found one thing capable of restoring your individuality after all your information has been synchronized.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Everyday human curiosity.
You're right. You know, that's something that never occurred to me. I think my brain has already started to harden.
I am a time travel from the year 4020. I stole a time machine from the government. And I have traveled from the beginning of time to the end of time. And that's where I have picked up all of the instruments that I use during my show. I put my hands in animal traps. I hang weights for my piercings. I swallow a large sword. I love meeting all the people, being in front of crowds, and being able to travel. I have been doing this for about 15 years, performing sideshow on stage. How many shows I do a year? Almost one a weekend. So almost every weekend I have a show that I do. It's a little freaky for people, especially when we do events all ages. So doing all ages shows freaks some of the kids out, but most people are very receptive. The thing that would entice people to come see my show is if you've never seen a sword swallower before, you get to see one. And also at the end of my show, I let people staple money directly to my body. So if you want to be interactive and participate, you can do that as well.
All right, there we go with the intro-y things, or at least some of them. We still have like 2 more or something. I don't know how this works anymore. I'm just programmed to do all these things for an unknown reason that I don't even understand anymore. The mole people and lizard people have me under such strict NDAs that I have to do whatever they tell me. So here is the next thing that I was told to do on script.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
You dumbass! It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls! I need you, Action Bastard! Action Bastard, I need you! Action Bastard, I need you! Why am I wasting time dancing?
You wanna know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog, and everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second, are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead. You're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're stupid. So let's bring in our co-hosts and then our guests, and then say hi to the side chat and get into the meat and potatoes of what we're getting into today. And I'm sorry again that we have to bring this to you. It's kind of like what Mango does to us on Sunday for brunches. I'm sorry I have to bring you the insanity that I do, but after I go over some of these subjects a couple times, something sticks out to me to where I'm like, oh my Jesus, we have to fucking do this. And I wasn't going to do this because of all the Bible quotes, but then I got into the interviews with the people who believe some of these things. And I was like, well, now we've got to debunk this bullshit too. So I'm glad that we have the people on our panel that we have. So let's say hello to our co-host. And one of the reasons this mainly happens as much as it does, otherwise it probably wouldn't happen as many times as it does a weekend or keep going and other things and stuff. So here is our...
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
And that's what she said. Oh, let me put this to the right thing. There we go. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good. Yeah. Actually quite nice that it's an hour early for me.
So that's going to be like, what, two weeks for you? Or do you all
not? I believe the 30th, like that's the Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 30,
so I
30
think
to
it's
31 is when we change.
I still think it's redonkulous. I still think it's redonkulous. What?
I do not like that because that reminds me of Shani because Tsunami is gray. I don't like the gray Tsunami.
Okay, well, give me a second to change that. But anyways, I think it's still redonkulous that we still go to ancient medieval times for fucking time. Like, why have we not just made it? Like, I think it's 10 states now in the Americas don't do time change. So, like, why are we still... Anyways, before I get into a whole rant about that bull motherfucking shit, let's go ahead
for the people that get up early, yeah,
it doesn't matter though. Honestly, like if you are a farmer or not, it truly shouldn't matter. If it's an hour earlier or not, it's just you change the time. Like instead of opening at 7 p.m. at 7 a.m. Sorry. I just open at 6 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it's about the day the amount of daylight that you get.
But sure, but it's your still. Anyways, again, I'm not going because I can go on forever about this because I live in the country right now, technically, and then I've lived in San Diego on the beach as well.
But so then again, for me, like it's never been that big of a problem. Like some people just hate the time change and like they can't deal with it. But like for me, like. Yeah, especially now. Just, like you all know what my sleeping rhythm is.
Yeah, well, it's consistent. Well, yeah, and it's still just silly for no reason for us to have it. Like it's archaic, I feel, and maybe I'm wrong. Everybody in the side chat and everybody who's going to be a guest, prove me wrong. I'm always wrong for sure. That's exactly why we do these things is to prove Slim wrong, and I think that's going to be the next T-shirts that we come up with is. Slim's always wrong or blame Slim or something like that. I'm coming up with that concept.
Rule 1, Slim is always wrong.
Exactly, sure. And or blame Slim is going to be either the next stickers or anyways, let's bring on our guest. And of course, we have everybody's favorite.
Mama!
Oh, Mama.
Son of a... Hold on. Let's do everybody first, and then just it doesn't want to click every single time with me. So here we go.
war never changes, and we are the Galactic Penguin Federation, NASA's enforcers. We rain fire on our enemies and fight hand to hand across the galaxy. We are ever seen, yet we are never seen in our fight for liberty. We will kick down any door and fight any secret societies.
I knew it. She's a lizard person.
My name, Commander 401. And this is how we handle our problems.
You gotta step up and beat that bully with a stick.
What? What? Oh! What's in this shit?
All right, welcome everybody.
So, hi everybody.
Hello.
Who is got their modifications up on their voice?
I don't
They're
know.
modulated. I think it's Ollie, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's Ollie.
It's Ollie. Ollie's like.
You sound like Darth Vader.
Very hard to hear.
Commander Vader, exactly, Sumami.
Yeah, exactly.
Commander Vader.
Oh, Sumami in the chat. Hi, Sumami.
Yeah, well,
Actually, I was muted. So
You were muted, so it wasn't you, Commander.
It was Ollie.
No. I was watching Ollieman talk, and I can see.
Did that fix it?
Yeah, well, you are a little hot. But
Yeah, now you're.
Yes, yeah, now you don't sound like.
Well, I probably sound off. I was.
There
really
you go.
sick
That's
last
better.
week,
That's a
and
lot
my voice
better.
My voice is way off. So.
Oh yeah.
No, totally. But you did sound like Commander.
Oh no.
He tried to sound like Commander.
No,
Yeah, but
every
not
now and then.
quite, Commander.
Yeah, when I haven't used the mic in a while, I gotta toggle on and off the Eddie Nano program, or else sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So-
no. We all know about the fucking settings that the things do after you haven't used it for a second, or like Windows fucking does. It resets all of the fucking bullshit, and you got to go back in and fucking
You gotta
fucking do
update,
everything every time it updates. Yeah, no, it's fucking annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Shite.
Technology.
Anyways, before I blow off on motherfucking Windows or Microsoft, let's get into the side of my chest and say hello to everybody.
Yeah. Before we do that, daylight savings time. There's only 2 states in the U.S. that do not observe it.
I thought it was
Hawaii
like
and Arizona.
10.
Although the
10.
Navajo Nation in Arizona does observe it, but for the most part, Arizona doesn't. California's trying
One province
to.
in Canada, it's the same.
Yeah. California's trying to do a year round where we don't observe it, but it still has to go through Congress and Senate first.
Yeah,
I
and,
read about
Harry, if as Harry said, like daylight savings time year round, that will not work because in the winter you'll have terrible amount little sunlight that you'll be using, and it will get people into depression.
Welcome to Canada. It doesn't matter up here.
Well,
No.
that
People
is
far enough north.
that's
And it's the same damn
thing. That's fucking Washington, Seattle, and
The northern
UK.
states.
Yeah. They're in constant grayness.
Okay. Thank you, Harry.
Well, they might get a lot of rain.
Everybody like Seattle, Washington gets like no amount of sun all year. Like they get like 5 days of sun or some weird fucking crazy shit.
When daylight saving starts, like I do enjoy it because I got a little bit more sunlight to use, and like in the winter when it goes back, that's when I love having it because like then I have a couple of more days that I go to work while it's light out. Like otherwise it's already dark. It's still dark when I go to work.
I get it, but anyways, again, we're not gonna keep because we can go on
it doesn't matter
Is this
anyway.
not the daylight saving stream?
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna change it to that in a second.
It's only
Anyways, let's
because
go on.
the U.S. switched this weekend, and then in 2 weeks, the rest of the world, whoever observed it
So,
switches. So, yeah,
America,
we're off.
to
Yeah.
America, right?
Canada switched too.
There's a 7-hour difference again, basically.
Yeah.
Just
So
saying.
everybody say hello.
For me,
everybody say
anyway.
hello to the mangoes. So we got the mangoes. We look at trees, and Look at Trees just made an amazing video earlier. So everybody go over there and go check out their video they posted about a new knife, correct? And then we have a captive death.
Hello, captive death.
Hello, everybody.
We have back, and they say they is lurking, so that's fine.
Hello,
Go ahead and
lurking
lurk.
back.
And then the mangoes has the stuff that they put up, and I have the pink only right now. So I'll do the shots for pink.
Slim, wasn't one of those things not available for you anymore, or got that sorted out?
No, we just
One of your
remembered he doesn't
favorite
like blue,
things.
so he didn't buy any.
I forgot to buy blue the last time, but it's still a thingy-mabobber. But we'll talk about other crap that I'm gonna buy to do on stream later. So if you could help out the mangoes, I'll do shots for the mangoes, and if you send me stuff and things, I will share with the mangoes as well. So let's say hello to other peoples. We have the NANA. Welcome.
Hello, Nene.
And we have the tsunami here. And
Tsunami! Hello,
that needs to be changed for something, right?
Yes.
The gray gives brainless PTSD. So I think we need to make tsunami blue.
Mango make me look up "Sexy for Christ."
Oh no!
Oh God, that bitch Shanny.
Yes.
Dude, I can't even imagine that.
I don't even want to watch her. I will get her through osmosis for everybody else, but I won't do it myself.
Dude, no, we're talking about the sex acts. We're not just talking about watching.
No,
her. We're
even
talking
that.
about
You're just watching her, period.
Like,
no, it doesn't matter. I get information through
with you.
osmosis. I won't get it firsthand. Forget it.
Oh shit!
I'm not going in that rabbit hole.
Yeah, so let's say hello to the Harry War.
Hey, Harry.
If there's anybody else that we didn't say hello to, my chat is jumping around and my stream are really fucking weird.
Yeah. I think we hit everybody. If we didn't hit you, let us know in the chat, please.
Did we have Harry yet? Yeah.
Mango, remind me. Oh my God, remind me that in the decimal chords. Will you post prove Slim wrong in my decimal? Thank you. I think you already did it. So that maybe I'll make sure it's the same prove Slim wrong. And then we'll have blame Slim. And oh my gosh, I have so many ideas that I want to do.
So many things you could do.
Yeah, with future stuff.
What are we proving you wrong about?
Everything.
Everything. I'm always wrong.
All right.
Trees does have a good, although I don't know if trademark on this would be an issue though. You know what I mean?
Okay, give me a second to get down there. But the other thing is like that's like almost like what Steven Crowder says, right? Is
his is change my mind.
Yeah. So
you wouldn't be
change my mind
on him.
It's kind of a springboard off of that.
Yeah.
Prove Slim wrong instead of change my,
If you make a shirt that for yourself to wear, you can put whatever you want on it.
No,
as long as you don't sell it. Then
right.
Then you get into copyright shit.
I'm talking about me being a prostitute again and me selling it.
Anyways, when did you stop being a prostitute? When did you stop that though?
I never did.
Never
tell the government. Anyways, Look at Tree says, what about Futurama Slurm?
That's what I'm talking about. You may get an issue with this copyright or trademark. So that's iffy right there. But it's a good idea.
But that's what I'm saying. Like right? if he makes a shirt for himself to wear, like then it's okay. But
I mean, why not? Or just
what I thought of? Have you heard the phrase slumming it? You need one that says "slimming it" or something, and then putting like you on there.
Ooh, slimming it. Oh,
Slimming
that's
it
a good one too.
in kind of slimming it kind of thing.
Yeah. Put that in a
like
private
with a
chat.
bifurcated tongue and
Exactly.
I think that's what that like. If you get a bifurcated tongue, that is slimming.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Justin. Welcome to the party. I feel like that you are new, and if not, let us know.
Yeah,
and
hey
if,
Justin. Yeah, I think Justin's been here before.
Is it Justin Long from those Apple ads?
Totally that. Yeah.
You mean,
And,
Justin?
Justin Long from Galaxy Quest?
Is he from Galaxy Quest?
He played in Galaxy Quest. That was one of his first movies.
Wait.
Oh, really?
He
I
played
didn't know that.
the fan, the kid.
I love Galaxy Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Sigourney Weaver.
That was a great
Sigourney Weaver was.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so
I'm sure
awesome.
Sigourney has a great
like
fictitious
a different
wiener.
movie.
Just saying.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver is a totally different movie. I didn't mean.
That's the X-rated Aliens movie.
Yeah, there was. I'm sure there was.
I was gonna say Aliens. In Aliens, she really let her.
did E.T. the extra testicle, right? So.
Yeah.
Well, that's a McLean joke for sure.
Yeah. I've seen you on Welsh News Network, Justin, but I thought I've seen you here a couple times. Maybe not.
Oh, McLean and McLean. Every time we bring that up, we're told not to bring it up.
I don't know why. They were funny
Sigourney,
set of brothers.
Everybody hashtag Sigourney's wiener. Let's hashtag.
I was going to say Sigourney Weaver really showed her fictitious, massive fictitious dick in Aliens, the Alien movies. Just saying.
You know what? She was the shit.
Her fictional dick. Yeah.
She was fucking hardcore. I mean,
she was hardcore.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
She was hardcore. You know what? You're gonna go toe to toe with like, I mean. With all the mucus and stuff, you know there was like some bad breath going on around there.
Thank you.
You know, and you open your mouth and another little monster comes out and is also breathing like that kind of halitosis. I think that's like that's.
Yeah. Well, that's why you don't have sex with a pregnant chick. Never mind. Let's keep
I don't think
that's if the mucus plugs break, Slim.
Do we have to?
Okay.
Just saying.
Is this the prove Slim wrong thing right now?
Right.
Exactly.
Slim, it does depend on how far along she is, right?
Yeah, but you know,
never mind.
When the head pops out and starts going, you know, you got maybe
that's like. I think like if that's about to happen, I think you'd have like a half second's notice. You'd be able to retreat.
Wait, contractions last way longer than there's not like instant births, are there? Like,
but I mean, there is some length of labor. Some women can have a baby within half an hour. Some have it hours.
Okay.
Well, and I've heard of people that go to the toilet and boop, ooh, damn.
Sadly.
Well, there's that show. I didn't know I was pregnant, right? And there's like 4 people on every episode, and there's like.
Oh man, I've seen that show. Yeah, and they're like, I had no idea I was pregnant, and I was in a bus washroom, not the one on the bus, but like a bus station washroom, and all of a sudden they have a baby.
Yeah, well,
it's always something like that.
But it doesn't. It's not like all of a sudden you're sitting there, all of a sudden, boom, a baby comes out. There is some warning.
No, there's
sometimes
sort
it's
of labor
very little time. Sometimes it's
I'm thinking like that woman that's got 19 kids that's on the TV there. You know, like
the Duggars.
Fire went out pretty quick. Yeah, the Duggar. Yeah.
The more kids a woman's body, the more a woman's body has, usually the less frequent her the less duration her labors are.
Yeah,
it's like the body knows what to do. Yeah,
but there's also
isn't this how it happens? Hold on. This is how it happens, right?
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh yes, that's how babies be born.
Yes, that's how babies are born. They come right through our abdomens. Yes.
And then they're like, "Hello, my honey. Hello, my
baby. Hello, my ragtime gal."
That's what every baby does, right? I mean,
just like in the Spaceballs.
I remember
just to be clear,
the whole movie
just to be clear, Slim,
that one moment.
Yes,
Slim. Just to be clear,
That's not how it works.
Like,
That's
I'm
not
sure
how any of this
saw that, like, we
works.
have to spoof that, and the whole rest of the movie was just so they could have that.
Yes.
Yes.
And then
You have to say John Hurt was a good sport to do that and to recreate that role, that particular scene. You know.
So like I was saying the other day, I don't know if exactly this is what you're talking about, Mango, but it reminded me of 2 weekends ago. I was yelling at a street preacher, and I had all these young ladies. This is the best way I'm going to put it. They were in college, and they didn't understand the concept of like how many people have complications during pregnancy, or how like hard it is to have one. And I'm just like, do you know like how many people in the medieval times like died just from trying to have kids? Like, and they're like, no, that's not a thing. And I'm like, oh my god, look,
breech births.
It's
Yeah,
totally a fucking
breech
thing.
births.
Breech, like sideways, backwards.
The women died a lot.
It's like
the
one
umbilical cord
one
getting
in
caught.
wasn't
Like,
it like
we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot.
1 in 5 pregnancies wind up just the baby being reabsorbed as a zygote.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I think if I'm correct, and once again, side chat always fucking, but I think during medieval times it was like 80%, or let's say 60%.
It was a lot because if you think about it,
was
like now we
complications.
have
That doesn't-
C-sections, right?
Yeah, and complications.
Back then they
doesn't
didn't
mean
have
deaths.
that.
Yeah, so complications doesn't mean deaths, but like the umbilical cord being tied around the throat, or them coming out where they had to pull them, and now they have something going wrong with the birth. It wasn't a easy natural birth that just happens. Why would God make that a thing? Like, why wouldn't it be just easy for women to just have
and don't forget,
kids?
it was baby and mama usually died because the mom
that's the
sometimes they would
major thing,
hemorrhage
too.
and bleed to death.
But God is so pro-life.
That was the big
But
problem.
Slim, there's an answer. There's an answer to that. It's in the Bible. It says Eve ate the wrong peach, and all of a sudden, labor was laborious.
Well, she ate the fruit of the tree of the fruit of knowledge.
Fruit of the tree of knowledge, and then she like.
And then God was like, "Guess what? We're gonna make you feel labor pains now. Feel pains. I'm bloated now. Yeah.
Like, this is
Adam, fuck you all the time. You know."
And give
like,
you a chance to
just
die.
Everything like this is why I don't eat fruit. Vegetables
way
I'm
too
down
dangerous.
with, but fruit is not a good thing to eat.
I mean, the only fruit that I eat is
downfall of all of humanity.
The only fruit Slim eats is mango, right?
Exactly. I was gonna say the gay boy down the street. That's the only fruit I eat. Anyways.
No.
I don't know if you could say that on.
Oh, can I not say that anymore? Yeah,
I don't.
Of course,
I don't know. I mean,
he
I was gonna make a joke about. I
He
don't
just
eat fruit,
did.
but I
It's
will
fine.
pop a couple of cherries and
no,
you know,
he's
like,
joking.
And I was like, that can't be good.
Yeah, well, I'm a twink anyways, so I can say that, I think.
Yep.
Anyways, let's blow on to the beginning of this. Let's get into the idiocracy, and I'm glad that Mama and Commander are here to help us walk ourselves through this, even though I've done research, and this is nothing new to me about them claiming the end times.
They've been claiming that for how long now? Hey, Mango. Hey, dog. I just noticed. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
And then
for you today, dog.
Sorry, dog, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, I've just got in. I'm sorry I'm late, but you're a bit early than usual.
Yeah.
Your time hasn't changed
because
yet.
of
US
time
daytime
change.
saving.
Yeah, we changed. We went an hour ahead this weekend in the U.S.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
but guess what? You're actually on
North
time.
America went an hour ahead.
North
Yeah,
America,
but you're
sorry.
actually on time, dog, because we haven't even gotten into this.
We haven't even got, as usual, we're running right on time.
Brilliant.
So I'm glad that you're here as well to help us delve into the idiocracy or the. Once again, we're not anti-religion, religious people, spiritual people, or any other people's religion. It's the insane extremists of these religions that are making
I'm
us
just
go over
anti-idiot, if that helps.
Yeah, and
that kind of
that's
gives a
pretty
good
much,
broad category.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we're doing over here. Is they think the end times have been happening since Nero's time, and I'll talk about where Revelations was supposed to be from, and I'm sure 3 of you on the panel, if not more, already are going to bring this up, so I don't even have to say half the crap that I already have planned that I want to say for this, because I know a lot of you have studied this and things and stuff. So let's get into it, which is that now they're saying the end times is happening this year.
Oh my God.
No, it'll be 2 days after Trump gets in. That's when the world will end. 2 days after Trump gets in, the world will end.
It's an election year, so you have to rile up the zealots to put in a man who basically said he'd be a dictator, and if he got in, he'd have the ability to take the pain to the entire world. He's the only asshole I've ever seen who could possibly be president, who compared himself to the king of Israel in the second coming of God. Way to go, religious folks. You are wanting to put that man into power.
Yep.
And
I swear to God, they're wanting to make The Handmaid's Tale a reality.
Mike Johnson compared himself to Moses as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
January the 8th. I'm predicting the end of the world.
That's just
Trump's
a lovely thing.
I don't think Trump's going to get in, so no one's going to really back him.
So get this, from a Jewish perspective, Moses is the highest prophet. And the Christians point out that Moses said that there'd be a prophet that you would have to listen to after him. And the Christians say that's Jesus. So Mike is blasphemous by Jewish and Christian standards because he says, yeah, I'm Jesus there.
But how many prophets were after Moses and between Jesus and after Jesus? Is there a few prophets in there somewhere?
At least tons before the return from Babylon. I don't know the exact number. But those would be the only ones that if you're a Christian you should, or a Jew, you should listen to, and all others after that are usually full of shit.
Yeah.
And the more things that I see and are referencing and we'll be talking about in the near future is Trump is the Antichrist because he's a charismatic leader that's made a cult that does these things and he's trying to become a leader of
I don't do the Antichrist thing. That's just a bunch of hooey to me. He's just a guy who wants to.
No, of course, yeah.
He wants to. He wants to be the absolute ruler of all he surveys.
But if anybody's going to be an Antichrist symbol, he would be the one comparatively to.
People thought Saddam Hussein was the Antichrist. So
well, now they keep going back to Obama, and it's like, wait,
that's what I'm saying.
He's not even doing anything anymore. What are you talking about, you weirdos? Like, what?
Well, he's still doing speeches and talking, but he's not out there like he was when he was president.
Yeah, he's not complete. Anyways, so I'm gonna
Trump's a clown. Look at him. He's got the makeup, the wig.
He wears diapers. I mean,
he probably wears Depends for all we know. I mean, the age he is.
To the best of our knowledge, there have been people that have worked for him that have said that he does wear diapers, and he has to be cleaned 3 times a day from people that work for him, supposedly. Allegedly. I'm not going to say that 100% because I didn't do enough research into it. But
I liken him to Henry VIII, where he's probably got a wiper. That's all they do is wipe his ass for him.
Yeah, no, that's probably what's happening. So anyways, let's blow on to this, and please donate to the Mangoes and or me.
To be willing to do that?
Dude, I don't even know.
There is not enough money in the world.
I'm scared.
There wouldn't be it'd have to be a hell of amount to make me leave the job I'm doing now to go do something like that.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
If you were working at the worst, if you were already working in sewage or something, right? And they're instead of taking out all the sewage out of different places, you just had to wipe one person's ass. You're like, maybe. Like, I don't know though. Like, I have
Yeah,
never
but then
been
you
there.
find
I
out that
won't do
person's
that.
Donald Trump, and you regard it back to no, right?
Well, if you're getting paid $500,000 to wipe somebody's arse, I mean,
Nobody's getting paid
like,
$500,000 to wipe
no,
an ass.
I know, but as an example. So, anyways,
Yeah, I know what Slim is saying. It's yeah.
Can you imagine getting him up on the changing mat and making him suck his feet and
have a changing table for him.
Yeah, while you're changing,
it's like a gold changing table with a fur-lined changing pad or something.
Oh my Jesus!
Teaching in the alphabet.
With baby seal fur lining pad, because that's how he would roll, right? He would go for
That's how they change him now.
Change him. So, anyways, blow on. I'm gonna.
Anyway.
Blowing raspberry.
Enough about him.
Yes. Okay. So let's blow on. I'll be right back.
Yes.
The end of the world, my friend. The Mayans knew about it. The Hopis, the I Ching, the Bible.
No.
What would you say if I told you that everything happening in the world today was predicted in a book that was written over 2,000 years ago? The information I'm about to lay out for you has been discussed for thousands of years. However, our generation is the only generation in the history of the world who is lucky enough to see these things come to pass. And it's happening right before our very eyes.
No. The Bible. Are they using Lord of the Rings music?
At this point, some of you may be
a little bit.
Wow.
Okay, so the Mayan long count calendar, it doesn't end. It just fucking resets.
It restarts. That's all it did.
Yeah, because how big can you make a fucking calendar that goes on forever?
Yeah, how long can you go, right? All it did was restart back in 2012.
Yeah, you have a finite. Yeah, exactly. Anything else anybody wants to say before we?
Well, I
kind of the only thing. I'm sorry.
I kind of agree with Umami. Like the images that they use of Elon, like kind of creepy.
They be creepy, yeah.
Can I just say, back 2,000 years ago, the Christian Jesus, as he's portrayed now, that's what he would have looked like in a crowd, about 3 foot higher than everyone else. Because the Christian Jesus, like blonde, blue-eyed, 6'4" Adonis, whereas he would have been about, I think the average height was about 5 foot of a human male back then.
Sure. Yeah.
5 foot, olive skin, brown eyes, curly hair. And if you tried to have President Jesus, as in the character in the New Testament, all the evangelicals would be like, get rid of that hippie, crucify him, and then they would scream for a thief, a liar, a murderer, and an insurrectionist.
Look, he's Satan. Look, I didn't even have to do anything, and he's Satan.
Pitchfork.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's keep blowing on.
Saying to yourselves, but the Bible was written by men, and Jesus Christ is just a myth. So why should we believe in some fairy tale from a time long ago? Fairy tale? Myth? Actually, this couldn't be further from the truth.
Citation needed, and I know he's going to pretend to bring us evidence, but just like all the young creationists and mud fossilists and all the other things, just look at the fucking not evidence they provide us.
The truth of the matter is that Jesus Christ was an actual historical.
Even if Jesus was an actual historical figure, do you think, because like the New Testament says, a bunch of people after he died were walking around who everyone knew was fucking dead. And you would have think the Roman authorities would have mentioned it. You think Josephus would have mentioned that dead folk be walking around, but no.
Why does no other culture, exactly, I'm springboarding off of what you were saying, Commander, why would no other culture have any recollection or in any of their documentation, their journals, their historical blah, blah, blahs, talk about anything that actually happened during the Bible. Of course, duh. Once again, these are all allegory stories and just things that are learning lessons or things to take. And
some things happened.
Sure.
You know, like Jesus says, beware of those who plunder houses, those who make great prayers for a pittance and plunder widows' houses. Josephus gives us an idea of what that was. The temple authorities were raiding the coffers by selling buildings run by the temple that used to feed women and orphans.
Hey, D. Yeah, totally. There are different cases for sure that most likely a thingamabobbers happened for sure. But the Jeebus part of it most likely was just an allegory, a thing they needed to have a deity that was the Son of God die so that we could repent for our sins, because God said that we were sinners in the Old Testament, to make a new religion. And or I don't remember exactly why they were trying to break away or make, I don't know. I think they were trying
his disciples genuinely thought he was who he said he was, and they got pissed that he died. So they basically created the ultimate troll by, like, does anyone remember how batshit crazy the evangelicals got when Obama was like, when Jesus comes into your life, you find hope that brings change, that change you can believe in? And then they declared everything Kennedy and Johnson did with the blessings of the churches and said, no more Democrats can be Christians. Well, it's kind of like that, where if it's almost as if like Obama succeeded and the Jews were Republicans then. That's basically the kind of troll that would have been.
And then the other thing is, when I looked into, hey Jinx, you, and hey Jasper.
Hey Jasper.
When I've looked into the Dead Sea Scrolls a little bit more, there may have been 4 or 5 different references to somebody named Jesus, but maybe not in the same time period that they may.
Yes, I've heard that. There's more than one. There's more than one Jesus
references.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, just think about it from. I'm sorry. Finish.
I was saying, is this in Mexico? You sure it wasn't Jesus?
Jesus.
No, but also
dude, I love hanging out with Jesus. He's awesome.
I think it's similar as like if we write a Bible now, and like we didn't have Jesus, but John Smith.
Well,
like, you're gonna look it up later, and like, oh yeah, John Smith did exist. Hey, John Smith did exist.
Joshua, the character Joshua or Yeshua, that was basically the guy who took over from Moses. And Joseph was the guy with the multicolored coat. So how many people would be named after like George Washington or in the or after Thomas Jefferson?
And as I recall, Jesus Christ was not his real name. That was like a title.
I thought it was Jesus of Nazareth.
Yep, it was Yeshua ben Joseph.
Yeshua, yes.
Something or other back, whatever his genealogy actually was.
And then when he was baptized, then he became Jesus Christ.
Sure.
So it wasn't his.
How many people in the Americas are called John Smith right now? Like, it's insanely stupid how, it's insanely stupid how there are so many different of the common names all together. Like I've told you all before, I was like I don't Google myself, but I was like looking up some things to do stuff for doing some promotion stuff.
Nah, you don't look.
We know you like to Google yourself.
Shut up, fucker. You
Google
Google
myself
yourself
all the time. I hate looking up my name.
Attention, or you Google yourself all the time.
So then one of these times I was doing research for something I was doing, and I had to like. I realized there was a young religious kid that just graduated from Christian University alumni and was trying to get into acting, and we have the same name. And I messaged him and I said, hey, bro, you might, if you're gonna get into acting, you might want to use a stage name, and I will like start using my middle initial and stuff, so we don't get confused. Because like, if you search both our names, both of us came up kind of like it was. I mean, obviously, I don't look like this 19-year-old kid, but again, everybody and their mom can have the same names. Like that doesn't mean.
And
something.
think about something.
Yeah.
After 9/11, how many people had names that were on a terror watch list that were not those people?
Yeah, exactly. And once again,
But
it's like where you
yeah,
are, where
and
you're
they
from,
were told they can't fly just because they had the same name.
Yeah,
they didn't go for the demographics of these people.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. We saw that a handful of times for sure,
Yeah.
the least.
And
hey,
little kids are like 4 or 5 run a no-fly list because they had the same name as somebody on a no-fly list.
Okay. Hey, Wandering.
Yeah.
Wandering.
Hey, Wandering.
My grandfather, on my dad's side, he worked at the Meadville County Courthouse and for the newspaper, and he died in the 1970s. And then Keith Oberman gave a eulogy for some guy who worked at the same place at the same time with this, not the same time, but basically 2007.
Okay.
My husband's name has a very common name. And I remember I got a Twitter from my assemblywoman giving condolences for his death. And I had to tweet her back, that was not my husband. That was another person. That was not my husband's alive and well, but thank you for the thought,
Yeah. Jeebus Harry, I don't even know.
They that must have like tore them up inside, like, oh fuck. Like that's a mistake you don't want to make.
It's not those Congress people that are sending out the tweets. They have their young.
Well, they have whoever it was through her office, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
But I wanted to let him know. Look,
unpaid.
thank you. Yeah. Thank you, but just to let you know, that's not my husband. It's a different person.
Yeah,
that lives. Just so that they didn't think, Yeah.
Yeah. Have
I
you
don't
been here
know.
before? I think I've seen your name. If not,
Wandering. Yeah, Wandering's been in here before.
No more taxes for you. I don't
For
even
me.
want to know. Well, yeah, I guess if the person they claimed that your husband was dead, then yeah, you're like, woo.
Then I need my survivor's benefits.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that, and or what's it called when people put money into a thing and somebody dies and you get all the money?
Life insurance,
death pot or death pool.
Yeah, sure. Life insurance, and then trust funds and shit like that. Because that was the like weird thing when I was like living on the beach when I was a teenager. There were like these homeless kids that were like, yeah. There was these homeless kids. At least you can't hear them. Yeah, exactly. It's Emily. There was these kids that we thought like were like hippies and homeless with like us, or like living with no money. And then they're like, oh, let me go to the ATM and go pull out $200 so we can, and they're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, I have a trust fund. And you're like, why are you living on the street, you weirdo?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing?
You fucking, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Some of these people are just like, whatever. Let's keep blowing on. We have so much more to go over, and we're gonna skip through a lot of it. Faux show, but here we blow, and let's get into the first person talking about this idiocracy.
Historical figure whose life was well documented in non-biblical historical records. He was even documented performing miracles. His crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension are all matters of historical record.
Except for they're technically only written in like one book and not throughout history in different places that have this in their history books.
Isn't the New Testament the only place where he's actually he's mentioned in the Talmud and I think by Josephus, but it's in passing. It's like,
as far as I know, you're right. It's pretty much just in the Bible. It's the New Testament in the Bible.
He's mentioned in the Quran as well.
Well, yes,
Josephus,
but
for like 5 seconds
in that.
Yeah.
Josephus said that his followers loved him many years after he died, and that's pretty much it.
The thing with
But
the
you
Quran,
wanna-
though, it's borrowed from the Bible, so
Yeah, but you
It's
want to
pretty
know why
much-
that
Yeah, but
happened?
they say he's a prophet, not the son of God.
right. He's not the son of God. He's a prophet. Yeah.
But the reason that happened is because after he faked his death, he went to Tibet to go study under a Buddhist monk so that he could be. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
That's like one of the
Nylandia! That's just another one.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy.
I had a
It's
Vietnamese
conspiracy that-
coworker
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
how he went to India.
Yep, executively. That's a whole other conspiracy that we're not going to get into right now. But let's.
Wow.
There's nothing you can do to take that away. You're talking to
Who's
me
playing
like
music?
I'm
What is
hurt.
going on?
What the heck?
You're talking to me like
Someone's playing a video?
I hope that was not
No.
copyrighted. Brainless.
Ah, fuck. Wait.
Yeah,
how
we
does
can
that
hear
come
it.
through?
I don't know.
How
if
does
we
Came
can hear
through.
it.
We heard something.
Oh,
We were
that's-
playing. Anyways, let's
Oh,
keep going
wait.
on.
Quagmire.
I don't think it was long enough.
And I don't care.
No,
and I don't care.
And we were talking
Honest-
over
honest-
it, so hopefully it won't.
Yeah,
count.
honestly,
I was
honestly,
sharing the wrong
we're-
thing. So that's
this
why
is-
the audio for the video clip didn't work well. I was sharing the wrong audio track.
Oh,
honestly,
okay.
and honestly, we're not
And-
getting monetized
Now I
tonight.
gotta do it for myself.
This is not being monetized tonight.
Yeah,
So
I
anyways.
think not.
And I think I can hear myself. Yeah.
But
put your audio, Brainless.
Captive, I think you're right. I think it was it's kind of like the famous painter. They're not famous till they're dead. You know,
Sure.
they don't get
but
famous
the
until
thing-
they
the
die.
thing-
that kind
the
of
thing
thing.
is, if somebody came back to life, every culture would talk about it. If this person
Yeah.
did these
Yeah.
things where they made like, I know him on the hill making like 200 fish out of nothing and wine and water out of nothing was him actually
Yeah.
going to the rich people and asking them to like give their stuff. So
Right.
they shared with everybody and they came down and everybody partied together. So it wasn't him making stuff out of nothing. But if there were
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that, every culture that he was around would have written that in their history books. So anyways,
Right.
let's blow on.
Real historians and scholars from all over the world agree on these things, and anyone who investigates
Except for all the ones that don't. Okay, so let's get into this.
Not all
Took a yellow
scholars
legal
agree.
pad, put a
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
line
That's
down
how
the
it
middle. And on one side, I started to list all the evidence I'd encountered for Jesus Christ being the Son of God. And on the other side, all the negative evidence against that. And I wrote and I wrote page after page. And finally, I put my pen down. I said, wait a minute. In light of this avalanche of evidence pointing toward the truth of Christianity, it would require more faith for me to maintain my atheism than to become a follower of Jesus.
Fuck.
That's just,
Are you
Citation
kidding me?
needed.
No.
Unfortunately,
Evidence-
it was him.
Evidence is just evidence. Unless you have something up, it's just evidence. It means nothing.
And if
You know,
you're
they-
trying to prove God, you're gonna find God. You're gonna keep doing it until you find.
Yeah,
the thing
you've
you're
got to
looking
prove
after.
or
So,
disprove God, and neither has happened yet.
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
Old Testament. I mean, the first 5 chapters are basic. Are the Torah word for word.
There's a Torah. Yeah.
First
Yeah.
5 books.
first 5
And
books.
Yeah,
Moses
and-
could not have possibly written about his own death. And
No.
as far as archaeological evidence for things, my best friend's dad was a biblical archaeologist, but one that actually worked for the University of Hartford. So here's where there's physical evidence. There's some evidence for the story of Joseph, very little for a small exodus, and then it doesn't start up again till about the time of David, where there's some evidence that he was mentioned, questions about all the, that he did, and then basically a few hundred years before maybe about 150 years before the exile to Babylon evidence starts back up. And then as you get closer to current day, more evidence, but no evidence of the divine, just evidence that there was a people and these leaders existed.
Yes.
All zero evidence for Noah and his magical zoo boat.
Yeah, there's like the places of the Bible, certain people, there's evidence for that. But pretty much that's what maybe 5% of the whole entire Bible.
Exactly.
You know, if that.
Let's go 30%, but that still does not prove that it is a
like
history.
Nebuchadnezzar did sack Jerusalem, but that doesn't mean God told Nebuchadnezzar to do it or anointed him or any of that.
I believe
Nebuchadnezzar sacked the Egypt before he sacked Jerusalem. Sure. So the Bible's right about that, but it says there's no proof that God had anything to do with it.
I mean, I've said to people, if the Bible were used as a witness testimony, whatever, in a court of law, it would not hold up because it's all hearsay. It's all complete hearsay.
Although I do believe what's his name went into the desert and saw a burning bush and somehow was.
Are you talking about Moses?
Hearsay and or searchable.
Sure. And he was 900 years old, don't forget. And that burning bush was a great what do you call them? A mason. He was that burning bush was a great mason because it's carved out and etched out those commandments. I think there's 100
on
stone tablets. So
613 altogether.
Here's a reference. I give you these 15. Oi, 10 commandments.
Exactly.
Which are all meaningless.
Fuck up on all of them.
The history of the world or something. Is that what it's
History of the World Part 1? Yes.
Yeah, History of the World Part 1.
Where he has 3 tablets and one falls and breaks, and he's like, "Oi,
somebody
10,
find that. Hey, Mama, find that clip right quick." Anyways, so let's get into this. Once again, there would be more proofs, and the other thing is we look into the Dead Sea Scrolls, we can find out where like the origins of a lot of this stuff happened, and it's multiple cultures from around the world that had these things that they just made into a modern version at the time into stories. So they're still old world stories comparatively to now. Like I've said before, once again, we're not anti-religion and blah blah blah, but
speak for yourself.
But if the Bible was supposed to be about the world's life we live in right now, there's no electrical engines. There is no mention of computers. There's no mention of getting trolled on a dating website and being catfished. There's no mention of so many things that we have to deal with nowadays that like you have to throw it out the window and be like, I can't even use this. I have to use something that's more modern to make it so I can get through life. So, and especially like relationships nowadays, it's not as easy as just like, if I give a goat and wheat to some dude, I get to take his 16-year-old daughter home and have my way with her because I bought her. Or did I have sex with a 16-year-old and got her pregnant? Oop, what now?
No, not 16. You mean
whatever, right?
You mean 13 or something?
Sure, whatever. Back then, those things do not apply to what we're talking about nowadays.
What?
Nowadays, you
For
don't
crying out loud, you want to know a fun fact about Hebrew? When you look at the written word for David in the Hebrew text, if you don't know the vowels, you can confuse it for electric washing machine because they wound up having to find different words for modern things. So Daled, Vav, Daled is either David or electric washing machine.
You know what? I would like to have David be my washing machine. Anyways.
Because you said like that doesn't apply to America. But in America, an awful lot of places you can marry like a 12-year-old.
Okay. You're right. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I think we're at 14. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Sorry.
let me get to the beginning, and I wasn't sharing the right tab in the right place. But anyways,
Good evening. Here is the news on Friday, the 27th.
Unfortunately, we have a bunch of states here recently that have just changed a bunch of their laws to where, like, if you pretty much have sex with anybody, you literally can get away with it, especially if they get pregnant, because of their anti-abortion laws. So you literally can just like impregnate anybody in like 6 states here or something like that, and you can get away with it. It's fucking
how do you
insane.
get away with it then?
After marrying said person.
Okay.
I think it's like a shotgun wedding thingy-mabobber like they used to do back in the thingy-mabobber days of the stuff and things. But anyways, I need a shot for sure.
In the Midwest, in that Bible Belt of America,
yeah.
I think it was only about 10 years ago, you were allowed to marry a girl from the age of 11 with her parents' consent. So you've got these old pedophiles, or PDFs, it's called now.
Yeah,
we're marrying these girls for dowries and for money from these rich old men. We're marrying these young 11-year-olds.
Well,
had to get on with it.
Well, hold on, really quick. The other thing about this is there's all these fucking there's these cults that these fucking weirdos have established, and we've gone over 4 or 5 of them here and on other channels where they're literally just getting all these older women to believe that they don't have a right to choose, and then somehow are bringing in these kids. And what did we see when fucking that one pastor had 12 underage girls in a trailer?
Yeah.
In the back, like not a like proper trailer where you like have people that live in
a horse box, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was totally. And they had like a makeshift fucking bucket for them to like do stuff in. And I believe they were semi-chained to the wall and or the sides of the place and blah, blah, blah. And half of them didn't even like know what state they were in or what they were doing or what was going on. And they may have been like faking, not like understanding what was going on, because they have been trained so hardcore to just like claim ignorance. But like, dude, it's insane. Like some of the states that we have right now, and like anyways, let's go on with this, because that's a whole nother stream that we're going to be doing in the future because of how insane this is. And they're taking away women's rights to get abortions. So now the little 12-year-old is going to have to fucking have the fucking kid from their.
And also the fact that they let kids get married at 12, to realize that kid, if they think like, nah, I don't want to, gotta wait until they're 18, get a divorce.
Well, and they're trying to take.
You're basically living in Stockholm.
Well, that and they are.
I fully understand as far as the species goes, the human species. You know, once a girl had their first period, you know, she's ready. So I can understand there's like something instinctual that makes you attracted to these young girls. The thing I have against it is
that was the Bronze Age.
Well, dog, go ahead, because I believe that you're gonna like.
It's the people that act on it. That's the people I have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, like just because that happens doesn't mean that you need to jump on that opportunity immediately, because they're still undeveloped as.
If it would be like a 13-year-old and like 16 or 17, 18-year-old, I'm like, you know, like technically over here that's even legal. So, but like,
no, I'm not for that.
Hold on. And anyways, like what I'm gonna say right before we get further into this, and we're gonna show this silliness is. What do you really have in common with a 13-year-old? Like, are you kidding? Like, what are you gonna do? Sit around and talk about Pokemon or whatever? Like,
Pokemon.
Why would you want to?
Catch them all, boy. Catch them all.
Brain is so So anyways, let's go on with this.
Frank.
Yes, yeah, we'll do that.
Miss Jones says you have to drink.
Yeah, I definitely. Okay. So let's blow on with this, and that is a whole nother stream we'll get into about
Yeah,
how
that's
the
a whole different
Americans
stream.
and other things about stuff and consent, and when somebody understands that, and when you should teach it, and blah blah blah. There's like so much to get into in that, because I didn't understand consent until I was out of college. And then I didn't realize getting somebody drunk and giving them drugs to get them to have sex with me wasn't proper per se. You know what I'm saying? Until I'm like, oh, like people need to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like not getting everybody fucked up, or, hey, I'll get fucked up and you can be sober. You know what I'm saying? Like figuring out that like, the world is fucking weird in the 1990s and earlier, and yeah, I understand.
The world is
now,
fucking flat, dog.
Yeah, well, and now it's like, oh yes, and understanding like, not that I've gone through this, but like, consent the whole time, and a handful of other things that go along that like none of us were taught. But then when you get into the fetish scene and you become a dom and a sub and blah blah blah, then you understand all of that, and that's what I know now is the whole understanding of consent, safe words, tapping in and tapping out to some extent, and or other things. Because when you're choking somebody, they can keep playing along until something happens. So you need to have multiple ways for somebody to say stop. Obviously, you're not going to try to kill them, but like if you don't know when they're done, then we have a problem. And that's the thing that I didn't understand until 20 years ago, or when I was way older, when people did want us to play not safely together per se, or razors, knives, and weird things comes out because they want it, and you're like, how do I know to not hurt? Anyways, that's a whole nother stream that we'll do for the dungeon eventually. So here we blow with this.
Moses went to the mountain, and God spoke unto him.
Moses, this is the Lord thy God, commanding you to obey my law. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, I hear you. A deaf man could hear you.
What?
Nothing, forget it. Oh, Lord, why have you chosen me? What would you have me do for you?
I shall give you my laws, and you shall take them unto the people.
Yes, Lord. Lord, I shall give these laws to thy people. Hear me.
And then,
oh, hear me. All pay heed. The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 15.
I mean,
10 commands.
Exactly.
Makes you wonder which ones broke what they said, huh?
Yeah. So, Mango.
It was something about not fucking a cow.
Yeah, it was all like the covet ones, wasn't it? Thou shalt not covet thy name.
The earth is a globe. Thou shalt command me to believe the earth is a globe. And
yes, that was it. You shall stone all flat earthers because the earth is a fucking globe.
Right.
Exactly. So here we blow. Cheers, bro. Salute, Solange, for the drinking of the stuff and things. Thank you very much for donating to the mangoes. Jesus Christ.
Okay, anyone want to donate a liver or a kidney?
Unfortunately, mine are fucking blown out, so you're not gonna get any use out of mine.
There's no way I could even donate part of my liver, not with my type 2 diabetes. Unfortunately,
yeah,
I can't even donate blood. That's how bad it is.
All right,
I have type 2 diabetes, and they'll let me donate blood.
Well,
Sure
I
about
can
that?
probably do plasma, but I don't know about blood.
Yeah, they've been letting me donate blood as long as my sugar's in control.
It may be different
maybe it's
between
under
the
control,
Americas
yeah.
and the Canadians.
Yeah,
So,
we're a little bit more anal with our some of our things here.
Yeah.
In the Americas,
in
in the U.S.
Hey, sister.
Hey, Sydney.
I can't give blood or plasma because my tattoos are so near right here.
Oh, because they're so right near your
where your veins. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'm like, you know how to tap a vein near, like you can see see it through the thing. I mean, literally, like whatever. And yes, a liver is delicious with onions.
And nothing says they have
onions.
to take it through your elbow. When I was in the hospital recently, they took it through my freaking hand. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but the same thing. Look.
Yeah, you got the tattoos on your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, but they go in the leg too and stuff like that.
They're like, I can't see your, and it's like, give me it. I can fucking tap my own.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah, no, I've never shot up drugs, but I have done a lot of blood play, and I have worked with piercings all over my whole body and other people and stuff like that. So I know how to hit a vein, not hit an artery, and not hit certain blood vessels in the wrong way.
Yeah.
They took your liver through your hand. Yeah, totally. That's exactly what happened, Jinx.
That's exactly what happened. They took my liver through my hand. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Okay.
Well, I've had IVs in my hand before, but I've never had blood taken out of my hand. So.
I've had them putting IVs or other things in my in here to do things, but I don't think they've ever taken blood per se from my hands. But I know that I've had all kinds of needles.
I've had
and
IVs.
Things.
Yeah,
and
that,
other things in my hands.
IVs are so uncomfortable in your hands. Oh my god.
When I was, I think, I'm gonna guess 12 years old. I might have been 14. I don't remember. But I had a major asthma attack, and I was in the ER, the emergency room, for 2 weeks straight, recovering from an asthma attack, which I almost died from.
Wow.
And they put multiple things in this hand and in here, and I literally was just sitting there, and it was not fun. But I've been all jacked
hey,
up. That's why
Jedi.
I think it's easy. Hey, left-handed Jedi, and I think that's why I'm so okay at, like, getting pierced or piercing myself, and or like understanding how veins work and shit like that. So, anyways.
Oh, really quick. Speaking of piercings, my daughter just got her septum pierced over the weekend.
Awesome.
Okay.
She when she did it, she started getting that, like, should I have done this?
Well, no.
I said, give it the weekend and see how you feel. And now she's warming up to it. It's like when you get that haircut and you get that drastic haircut.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a while to warm up to it, you know?
Well, and see, the other thing about that is there's a gazillion and a half types of jewelry you can wear. So you can wear little itty bitty petite jewelry in it, or you can do what my dumbass did and fucking has a huge fucking bull ring in it. So it matters on how you want it to be represented. And if she wants, she could just keep in a small little curved barbell that has.
That's what she has, little tiny barbell, like, especially for her job. She's a medical assistant. So she can't have anything really out there.
And if she needs she needs to flip it up, she can totally do that as well. You can buy certain retainers and a handful of other things that you can.
And she has both her nostrils pierced too, but they're like really dainty little piercings, so it's not anything in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what was that you're speaking of there, Tsunami. So, anyways, let's blow on further into this idiot.
Sumami.
Slim, I know you
finally
prefer her to
now.
Oh, Sumami said a burp.
It was probably brainless.
That was probably me or Slim.
That was probably brainless. I'm clearing my throat because I've got allergy throat right now, so pardon me on that.
I am sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry, Sumami. I did not realize that I've been saying your name wrong this whole fucking time, which is like 2 weeks now. I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass.
I'm pretty sure you'd love her to create a tsunami for you, but never mind.
Well, I was hoping that I was causing a tsunami in their pants, but I could be wrong with thinking that. Anyways, Yeah, we don't know who burped. If somebody can go back and clip that, I'm sure that we can figure out who burped.
It was probably me. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Sure.
Brian will take all the blame for that. Mm-hmm.
I'll say that I may have done it too. Yeah, only on OnlyFans. Totally. Let's do. Yeah.
Flip, I'll send you the link.
Okay. So
no, I didn't already find that.
Where's the clip of "We've got a squirter for Sumami"? I'm just saying.
I what's it called? I already deleted that because that.
Yeah, because I know it was for somebody else. That's why.
Yeah, it was our. But. Jesus Christ! Give me a second. God damn it!
Hey,
let me see if I can find
no. We can reallocate it for something else and give it a good memory, basically.
Mommy,
right?
I believe you got like one of those sites with all your links because I don't think YouTube likes it if you post your OnlyFans link.
It must have been.
But like, if it's a list with links that you link, then never mind. Hey, if you want to promote yourself,
Oh my Jesus Christ! I have no idea where that.
I know I sent it to you. I'll try and look for it while we continue.
Jesus Christ! Where the hell is that? I'll look here. Fuck. Let me see. I might have made it into finished. Hold on. Give me a second. I know, and we're already just like.
But
so
and Mango, I as I said on your other stream, like how far in were we?
Damn it!
Earlier, at like 50 minutes something. About a minute into the video.
I found it.
It needs an hour.
I was getting ready to check the Discord DMs, so I think that's how I sent it to you.
Okay. All right. Are y'all ready? Here is Sumami's intro, even though you've never been on our stream, but here you go. We got a squirter! There we go. All right. Here you go, Sumami.
That's Ginger Billy 1 on TikTok, everybody. If you go look Ginger Billy 1 up.
Wait, Sumami, do you really have an OnlyFans?
Yes, Sumami.
Oh my Jeebus. Okay, well, I may have to go and check that out. And I don't know what.
Oh God, that's great though. That's great though.
Oh my Jeebus. Okay.
I remember as a teen, I'm going back 30 odd years now. I had a girlfriend who squirted in my face. I thought I'd bust it or something. I thought, shit.
Yeah.
I pierced their bladder.
Yeah. No, I understand that. The first time I got squirted all over, I was like, did I just break your bladder or something? Like,
did I break the seal?
Yeah.
Am I that huge?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, if that's what your OnlyFans is, everybody go to there and go show them some love. Let's keep going on with this because we're only 30 minutes in. Like
I
always.
know.
Slim, I dropped the link in your DMs.
Right before our very eyes. Let's break it down.
Yeah,
nation
okay,
against nation. The word used in the original manuscripts for nation is ethnos, meaning a race, that is, a tribe. So ethnos versus ethnos, or race versus race. Sound familiar? What about kingdom versus kingdom? Well, we see this playing out live on TV
which has never happened before throughout the history of time.
No country's ever been at war with another country, or no race has ever been at war with another race. No, never.
You know what's interesting, right?
Only in modern
times.
times.
Before the war in well, in general, Europe has had its fewest numbers of wars ever since the end of World War II. So in Europe, there's been fewer people murdered.
There's been, yeah.
And less people killed overall by war this century and the second half of the last century than the previous, basically in all of history, by war, not by second half of the last century and this century. Fewer people being killed by war. In other words, there's more peace now relative to the population than there has
Yeah,
been
like
in the history.
a lot of
compared
countries,
to the per capita. Yeah.
Look at Europe. We started working together. And like,
oh my goodness. That's just a novel concept. If you can get along with someone, why start fights?
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing is,
go tell that to the orange man, President Oompa Loompa. Well, former President Oompa
Loompa. What's his prisoner number?
No one's ever heard the phrase, "Oh, they all look the same to me."
That would be inmate P01135809, aka Citizen Trump.
He's going to look invisible in his orange jumpsuit, isn't he? He's going to disappear.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he'll be like a chameleon.
An orange jumpsuit. Oh my god, that's gonna be so. Oof.
Sell that t-shirt.
There's so much orange.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, let's keep blowing on because we have. I'm gonna skip around, obviously, but we have a lot more to get into, and I'll be right back. I have to use the loo.
Yes.
So give me just a couple more seconds. And here we blow.
Every single day. And it has been for well over 100 years.
For the first time, China has expelled and actively denounced the U.S. for what it calls the illegal trespass of a warship off the Shisha Islands.
India and China will be holding their 7th military-level talks on Monday. The meet is expected to not only take stock of the situation on ground, but also the measures on de-escalation by the Chinese side.
Heavy fighting between Armenia and Azerbaijan has continued for another day.
And as more explosions rock the area surrounding Ukraine's largest nuclear power plants, officials are urging
the kingdom of the West versus the kingdom of the East.
Yeah.
And it's not just about war. It's about ideologies, domination, and control.
Tribe versus tribe,
versus
kingdom versus kingdom.
No, I think Borg is out.
There shall be famines. According to the United Nations, the world is on the brink of a biblical famine caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. 135 million people in 55 countries experienced acute food insecurity in 2019. 135 million people, and that was last year, before COVID-19. Let's put that into perspective. 135 million people. That's almost half of the entire population of the world when Jesus was alive. There will be famines.
That makes no difference because we don't apply that now, since we don't.
And also, like, there's wars, but like, you know why so much about those wars, and like we didn't back in the day? Maybe because we got television. Internet.
When
have that, like,
when has there not been all of this bullshit? What the fuck? There's
never not been this stuff. It's always been happening.
Yeah, I mean,
people have always gone without food. It's not as if COVID was what the catalyst for it. You know.
I gotta tell this dude something, Slim. I really do have to tell him something.
Exactly. So once again, this is all like just idiocracy. And so what I want to say right quick before, I don't know when they get into the right passages of this, and I may accidentally skip forward. What I want to go over right quick is all of this stuff in Revelations was written about Nero. They thought Nero was going to be the Antichrist in the 600s or somewhere, whatever he was, and that was going to be the end of the world. So now everything after that is now just projection, and every single fucking generation and every other generation or every 10 years, these people come up with these theories that the world is getting closer to an end, to an end, and we have never seen that throughout history. And I don't believe, even if we're going through climate change, I don't believe that we're going to see the end of the universe like they say that we're going to see through Revelations.
No, we're not.
Yeah, it's not going to happen exactly the way that they say that it's going to happen. So, I mean, and if that's going to be a thing, we're all meeting somewhere to have a huge orgy. Everybody,
and it will tell. It says in the Bible too that the end of the world, we're not going to know when it happens. It's just going to happen. Was it something like it's going to come like a thief in the night or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
No one's going to know exactly when it's going to happen. Period.
They just make shit up anyway.
They do.
Yeah, weirdos.
I mean, the rapture, that's not even in scripture at all, this rapture.
No, that's an American invention.
Absolutely. And most and biblical hell, this fire and brimstone lava pit was not in scripture either.
There was never. Yeah, hell was more of a human concept to keep people in line.
Show, it's called. It was called show.
Men that are using God, basically.
And the other thing is, right quick, numerology was used back when it was written in
Hebrew.
Thank you.
Yeah, gematria.
Because I was gonna say Jewish, but no, the Hebrew, and then they translated into 5 other languages before it was translated into the Englishes. So once again, none of this is like been set in the times and the numbers that it was supposed to be, because translation has changed that, and or you can't use the thingies that they were like using, like gematria, to understand the translations of the thingies and the bars. It's supposed to be Dante's Inferno, but it's not, because that was written 1,000 years after, and there's no correlation to all those things together. But
I can remember a guy back in the.
Well, Dante's Inferno came from the 12th century.
Yes,
and the King James version, obviously based off the Book of Dante, which is a comedy book actually, because there's popes in them, 9 levels of hell and all sorts.
Came
out in 1611, I think that came out. It's been rewritten, and even the King James version has been written hundreds of times since then. They try and hide the monstrosities in this book and the atrocities and the behavior of the religious. A statistic I remember reading about years ago: there's been more unnecessary death via religion than there has been in all the wars of the world, and all the murders, all because of religion. They're all hate cults. You see them on Twitter. You see like a Pentecostal guy arguing with an evangelist, and none of them agree with each other. They've got their own versions. They make their own shit up. But I just see
there's so many religions too.
Business.
Why would God do that? Why would God not make it so that everybody spoke the same fucking language and had the same belief and the same ideology around the world in different places? Well, because I don't see there being a way that
Project 2025 is a hate-filled sack of absolute violent nonsense. And it's motivated by multiple religions. One theosophy, another one Christianity, and at some point we'll go in. It's like really, really weird how people just think, I want to kill my neighbor and take their stuff. Oh, being taxed and the thing is communism.
Things like that have never, ever come to completion. They're just like fly-by-night conspiracies. Then there's another one that takes its place years later,
Of course, totally.
But while they're there, it scares the hell out of people. And rightly so.
Yeah, totally. So anyways, let's blow on to a little bit more of this. We're definitely not going to get through any very much more of this, because
spirits and doctrines.
Well, recently we've been getting a lot through it just because they've skipped through, but like there's so much of this. I think we're gonna have to do multiple sessions of this or episodes of
devils. Now, it's no secret that large numbers of people are abandoning Christian beliefs and exchanging them for New Age ideas like reincarnation, karma, and the law of attraction. Here are a few.
That's been happening since the 1980s.
That's been happening, for a long time.
It's actually showing that up. here as well. Like, there's a lot of this in between.
Yeah.
And so
It was happening before the 80s. I mean, in the 80s, it was what they called it New Age. Even in the 60s and 50s, people were doing it. Prior to that, people were going in that direction.
In the 1950s,
You know?
well, sorry, the 1960s is when it began, where people were doing holistic stuff and going outside of the religions, and that's where the hippie communes started happening and the drug usage. And
Make love, not war, all that stuff. Yeah.
I figured it out. Like
what
the end of times, like as described in the Bible, what they mean is the end of times of religion. We're gonna get rid of religion. That's it.
Possibly.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, that would be so fucking awesome.
To me, it's not the religion; it's the people that use God, and then they use whatever religion they claim to be to exploit other people, control other people.
And
it's going to take another 50
always
years.
Exist as
it's going to take
a
while.
Religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways,
people have it so ingrained in their minds, it's not going to go away overnight.
Yeah, no, but also those people are the last group that will stop believing.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully.
They will cling on to it so fucking hard.
And what is scary is what we're seeing now is we're seeing something akin to the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, that kind of thing right now, and that's scary. But as we know politics, especially in the US, every 2 years there's an election and things change. They're never consistently the same. So,
and there's a worldwide thing that Russia is instigating with stirring up the conservative religions and the assholes who enjoy just shoving their will onto other people.
Yeah, the next the youngest generation is not going to take that any much.
And I mean, Russia wasn't really religious back when it was before when it was communist, was it?
No, the FSB, well, the KGB and the FSB, the way Operator Starsky described it, they were like really superstitious. There's this guy, Shaman Gabayshev, who was going to march all the way from Siberia to Moscow to exorcise, he said, the demon Putin from office. And if Putin was an atheist, he'd just ignore it. If he was a Christian, he'd just ignore it. But Putin's like really superstitious, so he had the guy jailed.
And see, the thing is what Russia's doing, like with anything, they're seeing religion as a means to an end.
Yes.
As another way of controlling people. That's what they're using it for. There's an agenda with it.
It's control through fear.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's exactly what Hitler did with all the things they did for the things and the stuff. Anyways.
He was aligned with the Vatican, though, the Catholics. Which most Christianity sectors now are saying, oh, they're not Christians. Yes, they are. They read the same fucking book as you.
Yep.
Well, they're sort of trying to, because they're saying, oh, Hitler, what about Hitler? And then you say, well, Hitler was a devout Catholic. And there's a report called the Bigelow Report, which insists that the vaults in the Vatican are just full to the brim of Nazi gold and stolen Swiss francs.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
And obviously, you know, they deny it. But didn't they only apologize for Galileo in 1994? The Pope John Paul II apologized for the incarceration of Galileo. And sort of said, we're now embracing science, but we've never fucking embraced science. It's all about that control and that money, and it's ridiculous. And then these televangelists, you know, your Kenneth Copelands and all them people who take literally dying people's medicine money from them.
Yeah,
and buy and travel the world on their airplanes. He goes and
I need another jet. Anyways, let's keep blowing on.
Charts from the Pew Research Center that illustrates the decline of Christianity in America. So this is between 2018 and 2019. And as you can see here, it breaks it down into the 4 generations and how many are Christian. The silent generation, born 1928 through 1945, 84% are Christian. Baby boomers, 1946 through 1964, 76% are Christian.
Okay, let's listen to this
if you have the image of Stargate in your head right now, you're spot on. That's what
Oh
he said.
fuck, that's a QAnon asshole. That's Tom Horn.
Yeah, I know.
What are they comparing to Stargate?
And then he went on to draw parallels to the biblical story of Jacob's ladder. Perhaps you remember the dream that says, "Behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it." Then,
all off of a dream, right?
And Jacob wakes up from his sleep and he says, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." And he was afraid. And he says, "How awesome is this place? This is..."
Yeah, because you don't know what dreams are. Hold on,
the asshole Tom Horn, who is right there. It was either late 2016, early 2017. He was on the Jim Baker show talking about how that there were rabbis in Israel. The rabbi he was talking about was Rabbi Joseph Berger, talking about how Trump and the Gematria says that the numerology at Trump's name is Messiah. To give you an idea how fucking deluded this guy was. And he's dead now, so he's fucking deluded.
But
was fucking deluded. Now he's dead.
Yeah, and it does not say that. And if you like take a bunch of fucking things and you throw them together and you do a bunch of weird fucking phrases and blah blah blah, you can make Gematria say anything you fucking want.
You can. Yeah, that's the problem.
And also, like the little thing is that like, oh, he thought God was there, so he was afraid. If he's a loving
There's
God,
not even a P sound in Hebrew.
What I was going to say before was, remember back, remember back in the 80s?
Not P
There's this
sound,
one guy
final.
that took like 5 different Bibles, and he took like every 5th letter or whatever it was to make this code. To decode this Bible, and he found out the world was going to end on like September whatever 1985 or whatever, right?
Wasn't that movie with what's his name in it? And then they
I don't remember, but this was one of the various predictions of the world coming to an end by via a biblical code, right?
I was making
and I have to correct myself so that people don't accuse me of not knowing what I was talking about. There's no final pay in Hebrew. There's only a final fe. So there is no word in Hebrew that ends with a P.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So but what I was saying though was that day came when I remember mentioning to my mother, I'm like, wasn't the world supposed to end today? Huh. And then they came out and backtracked and said, oh, whatever date this was via the Bible was actually this date. So like 6 months later, it's supposed to end. That day never happened. You know?
Oh yeah, so, our maths.
And it's like 30-something years later.
It's been 30, 40 years later. We're still waiting for these predictions to come to fruition, and they never have.
Every time they fucking think that they have the fucking answer for when it's gonna end, it obviously hasn't happened. And
they've got to carry the one.
Well, I mean, Lord knows if I take every 5th letter in the War and Peace, I'll find some sort of message in there. Come on.
But you know why it didn't happen? Because so many people prayed and God changed. I'm just kidding.
God says, we're not going to end it today. I'm not doing that to you ever again.
Prayer is just another way for
That's the thing. I could take a People magazine and take an article and take every 5th letter, and I will come up with some sort of message that can be related to something or other.
But
do you know what I mean?
That's the other fucked up thing that they always say and that they use is, if y'all pray enough, if you give me enough money, if you do enough things, God's gonna like prolong whatever that he was gonna do. Why? What the fuck are you talking about, you dumb cunts? Like, why would God do that? Or why? If you want the end to happen so bad,
I'm sorry, we have a delay. That's why I keep.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's okay. Give me 5 more seconds, Commander, and then I'll let you go. If God if y'all want the end to happen so much, why don't you all just let it happen instead of praying for it to not happen? Especially if you're going to go to heaven, you want it to happen, so you're not going to give the money to the church, or you're not going to do whatever because you're waiting for that to happen for you to go and have your talk with. Is it Gabriel? Is at the gates?
Peter. Peter.
Peter, sorry.
That's probably why they're afraid. They don't want the end to come because they're afraid of what Peter's going to say. They're going to send them straight to hell.
Yeah, after they molested all their kids and they had sex with their cousin and beat up their dog and all these other weird fucked up shit. Yeah, of course they don't want to go to fucking heaven because they know they're not fucking pure people, which it says you can't be a pure person if you are blah 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 from the Jesus.
And then according to born again Christians, only 144,000 are going to make it to heaven anyway. And according to South Park, only Mormons get into heaven.
And
so
it's the Mormon, it's the Mormon thingy over. But anyways,
you would know,
whatever
Mom.
you want it to be.
Aren't flat earthers, haven't they had to become born again Christians because of this dome thing?
They totally.
That's true. And we're even referencing Star Trek in the side chat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. So,
the Lord of the Rings music was basically appropriate for any biblical. Because
that's true.
It's Lord of the Rings for stupid people.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the prophets, how many times was Karen supposed to come back? That's my name for Trump, because the only thing that I know that the Bible predicted was the behavior of a Karen.
Yeah.
But other than that, these it was more than that. It's like Julie Green was like, and I promise you that there's going to be a red wave, and then she's sitting in her just crying, begging for a fucking straitjacket because it didn't happen. And she tells her followers, it's because you didn't pray hard enough.
Yeah, see, it's always somebody else's fault, right?
Well, that's just
it's not because you were stupid and just made up bullshit.
How can we influence what God doing? Like, if it's his will, like.
Have you noticed though with that, if anything good happens, it's God. Anything bad happens, that's Satan.
Well,
you didn't believe in God hard enough. That's why this bad thing happened.
Question then, well, didn't God create Satan as a nemesis anyway?
Lucifer was an angel.
They made the whole game anyways.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Yahweh is the evil one. Lucifer is the good. Yahweh wants to kill everybody that's not his people. Lucifer just wants everybody to have fun, right?
Yes, totally.
And he's literally the light bringer. Yahweh wants to bring a sword, not peace on earth. So if anything is real about it, like those dumb cunts got it the wrong way around. They're worshiping the evil one and not the good one.
The whole thing about that is we're not supposed to like pay attention to Old Testament, except for when the old world people in the South want to look at that, and then we're supposed to look at the New World. But then once you ask them about Jesus turned his cheek, and he said to hang out with the pimps and the prostitutes and the lepers, and give all your money to everybody so that you are not rich. Nowadays these Christians are going to these evangelicals, I'm gonna put it that way because not Christians. Evangelicals are going towards saying, no, we're at the end time, so now we gotta take our fucking broadsword, now we gotta pull up our arms, now we gotta fucking murder everybody. Wait,
but Jesus was doing that anyway in John. In the book of John, sell your robes and buy swords. But look what happened to Jesus in the end. Look what his deadbeat dad did for him. He had him killed and brought him back as a zombie.
And when he was a child, there's writings that they took out of it, and which is the Dead Sea Scrolls, of him like casting spells on children. and fucking with people because they didn't believe enough in him and or didn't go along with what he did. There's a bunch of other weird, fucked up, crazy shite as well that is going along with stuff that isn't in the Bible and or that was left out of it. And just like the
there's
Enoch, fucking whatever.
10 or 12 years of his life that is
life
not
that is
like he went straight from like 12 to 30 or 18 to 30
more
or something
than
like
that.
that.
It was
really
13 to it's like 13. Basically,
Yeah.
he had his bris and his dedication, and then we don't know much other than he came back and maybe he was teaching and talking in the temple, and we don't hear from him from his early teenage years until the age of 30.
That's
was
what I'm
on the
saying.
road,
Around
he was on
30
the
is
road.
when they pick back up with his life. Yeah.
That's because he was on the road doing his. He was Jesus the Magnificent. He was doing his magic tricks. He had a spinning bow tie and everything. And then his bipolar
water
kicked
into
in when he
wine.
heard the voice
He
of
had
God.
that flower with the water, that squirted people, like,
When I went through my Christian phase, Jew, Christian, back to Jew, when I pictured the Antichrist and what he would do, I actually pictured that the evangelicals were more likely to be doing the will of basically exclude everyone who doesn't agree with you politically. If the character in the Bible, the Jesus character, wanted to be president, they'd crucify the dude and scream for a thief, a liar, a murderer, and an insurrectionist. The Bible, the evangelicals gravitate towards the most unforgiving, judgmental, let me be a piece of shit to everybody, but I can do whatever the fuck I want. When I was
not for me. Yep.
When I was working at the defense contractor, I even developed a taunt to the white conservatives. Now, I'm Jewish, so I was like, oh, you have Abraham Lincoln as the father of your party, and you're white. That makes you a Christian. My grandfather was a Jewish dude named Abram, and his wife was Esther, and they was Jews, I guess, Ani Yehudi. So your race makes you a fucking Christian. But that's exactly what they thought. I read them Romans 9 and 10, and they were throwing stuff. So
hang on, guys. I got to mute.
It's like the Old Testament, the very first commandment states, "There shall be no other gods before me."
Yes, Justin.
That's why they sell golden bobbleheads of Trump.
Yeah, I think there's 94 or 96 gods mentioned in the Old Testament, but you have to ignore them. The very first just shows that there were other gods, that Christianity did believe in other gods. Well, Judaism.
That was actually a thing. Like when Jeremiah says in 23, you traded forgot my name for a Baal. When you realize the Hebrew, right? You have Ba, which is in, and Ale, which is, so there was language confusion, but according to what people smarter than I have said, was
wait, there's people smarter than you?
Yeah.
Well, Elohim is plural, isn't it? It's a plural of gods.
Yeah, the and then Yod He Vav He was basically a single god in the pantheon of Canaanite gods, and then the Israelites just decided, well, we're gonna hang out with Yod He Vav He and ignore the rest, and that was probably the split, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
exactly. All right.
Yeah, and didn't he say? Didn't
love that Slim?
God
That looks
himself
good.
Say, did God himself say he's a jealous God? Jealous of who? So there must have been other gods.
Dude, we have so many past gods that they've used in different writings from other cultures to make the things of the stuff for the new things that they put into the Bible to represent the rebirth of a god and or the son of a whatever, and the things and stuff. There's like all of the things we can look at old cultures from around the world that have had fables and or stories that have been told by mouth for centuries that now have been used in that. And when we look into the Dead Sea Scrolls, we can see that. And now the other thing that we've been able to do recently is find all of these like scrolls that we can't translate until we put AI to it. And then all of a sudden we're able to translate all these scrolls, and we're getting closer and closer to finding out the history of old fables and the way that things were taught and what people did know back in the day, which the ancient aliens are going to fucking hate, because we're going to find out we knew more technology about how to do things like build the pyramids and or the Mayan temples and all that shit than they want to claim, because white people's has got the best DNA, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
And I know.
I find it so fucking arrogant that people now think like, oh yeah, people have worshipped hundreds of gods, maybe even thousands of gods in the past, but the God that I worship, that's the one true God. Like,
but the weird,
there is no one true God. Sorry,
I actually have tabs open on her. I was kind of looking into that for another stream. But yeah.
And anyways, very quick, what I want to talk about is like, that's the other crazy weird thing about Catholicism is they have deities that are like the whatever of bowel syndrome, the whatever of this, that, everything.
The patron saint of whatever. Yeah, they got patron saints for everything.
It's like I thought there was one God and they were all important and they fucking decided everything. But then you have this version of it, and that's actually a very close thing of Hinduism and a handful of other Asian cultures from around the world, where there's a deity for everything. Same with the Native American culture and a bunch of old ancient religions. They believe there's a deity and a lot of stuff. So it's funny how they say that and then they think that they're connected to this, but when did God not tell them that they were wrong? Anyways, we're gonna end it here because we have so much more to go over, and
it all boils down to the one question, doesn't it? You know, why are we here? And that's all it is. Why are we here? So these beliefs came in back, tens of thousands of years. People were worshipping objects, stars, the sun, even the seasons. They were worshipping anything they could just to answer that question. We must have been put here, but now science is sort of catching up, and obviously they're denying it now. But it's all about that one question. How did we get here? Why are we here? We've sort of got an idea now. How the universe clicks and works, but we still don't know it all.
And one of the other.
Sorry, I was going to say these people just refuse to get on board.
Exactly, but what
in America, it's an industry, though, isn't it? It's a tax-free industry.
Totally.
Yeah,
but the other thing
it's a political industry.
Well, and the other thing about this is just like Santa Claus, leprechauns, Easter Bunny, and all that stuff. When you have a younger child coming to you asking you questions, what's easier for you to do? Say it's the Tooth Fairy, it's the Santa Claus, it's this, or to just tell them the fucking truth. So that's like part of it. The only problem that we're having nowadays is there are not humans that after they turn 18 are not told that all of this is bullshit. Like the Magic Sky Fairy. Obviously, you have to tell them there's not a Tooth Fairy and a handful of other things. Although there are people that still believe in all this weird shit. They were supposed to be told that it's not fucking true.
Yeah.
Question to ponder.
Go ahead.
Well, if there's 100% of knowledge is out there, what percentage do you think mankind or humankind has of 100% of all knowledge?
20%, 20%, 20%.
I would say no.
I don't know how long I have to go on.
Done. But go ahead, dog. Right quick.
Yeah, I was going to say there's probably very little we know. But
we're not even at 0.0000001%.
I would say ridiculous like that.
And can I say something right quick? That's the whole thing about these conspiracy theorists. They, just like CC and a handful of other motherfuckers, they ponder questions where a lot of us actually have to use like precision equipment to like look at things. I can't just plane a bunch of fucking wood to make bases for the sculptures that I make by eyelining it. No, motherfucker, I have to use like a fucking laser fucking thing, and I have to use this planer, and I have to use this and that, and I have to like turn the dials to make it so that it works, and I have to use computers and blah blah blah. It's not easy to make this shit work, you dumb cunts. It's fucking hard.
100% of why, some wise, and Trump know 100% of everything.
I quickly got to say something because you did show it, but you did not follow it up.
Thank you for Thank you for being here, Skits. Even if you're late.
Skits. Yeah, even though we're about to wrap up, but we love skits, so we got to do the videos.
Yes, we love our skits for sure.
Yeah, and even though some Slim is a, hey, I got to show off my new trick to skits, okay? Fuck.
No, of course, for sure.
Taking control.
Okay. Anyways, I don't know what I wanted to end with something weird, but like I don't have something very short to show because tomorrow we're going over crackpot conspiracies and like, oh my Jesus Christ, I have insanity to go over for tomorrow. So everybody, please be there for that because I don't even want to go over what we're going over tomorrow because it's so fucking insane.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about before. Anyways, thank you all very much for being here. Is there anything anybody wants to say before we get out of here? Brainless, you go first.
Hope to see you all tomorrow. And everybody, do remember, Urka is an hour ahead at the moment.
Exactly.
I'll remember that for tomorrow.
For all the streams and shits.
So for 2 weeks we'll be ahead of y'all for a second or 5 or something.
The 30th, we're also coming. And like
our clocks go back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And like,
anyways,
America wanted to be different again.
So yeah, tomorrow is crackpot conspiracies, and we're going over black pyramids, how demons are transing your children, the ghosts and things, and I know, dude, it's fucking stupid what we're gonna go over tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you all tomorrow, and then Wednesday is drunken news report, and then Thursday I'll be getting tattooed, and then I will be down in Colorado Springs for Saturday and Sunday doing shows. So I will not be here for DSA on Saturday because I will be performing and stuff. I won't be I'll be at a show
but
during that time.
Will you be around for Piplash?
No.
Oh.
Wait. No, because I'm gonna have to drive down. Well, I'll see. I'll try, but I'm driving down. It's this weekend, right? What is today? Yeah, no. I'm driving down this weekend, and I have a fetish photo shoot to do with a lovely, sexy lady who is letting me do some fetish photos with her at a fetish dungeon down. And I wish. we'll talk about that hopefully soon, one of these days. But no. There is a fetish dungeon called the Leather Workshop or something like that down in Colorado Springs, and we'll be doing a photo shoot there on Friday, and then I will be doing I want to say it's like a motorcycle swap meet, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. But I'll be sharing everything with y'all, and the Dism Accords for that. And then Sunday I'll be performing at the tattoo competition there at the convention as well. And my mom's actually going to show up, so I may have video for my mom watching me do a performance, which she hasn't seen in like 2 years or something like that. So yeah, that'll be fun. So we'll let everybody know all about that. And I get tattooed on Thursday. If my homegirl, my ex, is feeling up to tattooing my arm. So my arm should be finished. My lower arm should be finished on Thursday. Then we will I'll be out at doing those thingies and the mabobbers. So I will let everybody know about when we have all the photos done, and I will show everybody my arm when it's done. And I will share the videos that I have from this weekend's events as well. So this is like the beginning of the show season for me. So I will try to be around as much as possible on the weekends, but we'll see, because I have a handful, a handful of people just hit me up for doing gigs around town.
I also guess Monday there will be no stream then.
A what?
Next week on Monday, probably no stream, or
yeah, we may not be doing a Monday stream because I will be performing all weekend and doing things and stuff, and I may be doing other stuffs and things. So I'll let everybody know. But thank you very much, Justin, for being here, and we will see you hopefully in the near future. All right, everybody, we're gonna get the fuck out of here because I barely eat 5 tortilla chips today.
Yeah.
I need to actually
get some food.
So yeah,
I'm posting my premiere tomorrow in the side chat.
Yeah, of course, always do that. And then Mangoes, if you want to post anything, or anybody else wants to post anything, please do that right now. If you were blue and you don't know where to go to, because putting on the Reds. Anyways, never mind.
Put on the Reds.
Put on the Reds. So yes. I'll talk to y'all soon, and we'll see you to the morrows.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you for showing up.